Okay, so let's go to homeworks pretty quick. People have put in some homeworks. This is, I mean, see the way it is designed, right? So when you are working in test environments, right, there's three environments. You have this dev environment, this test environment, and this production environment. Okay. So when you're working on, so when you're working on test environment, this thing it doesn't matter. But when it goes to production, of course you need to test this one. Okay, but production you're not going to test, so we don't have to worry about it. But this kind of things is actually allowed in test environment. Okay. So because you have to put various numbers, right? You need to check all this, but you have to make sure that special characters and all those are not included. And this American Express, you have to make sure it's only accepting 16 digits, not other than that. Okay? So this is a little different, right? So that you have to make sure. So yeah, this is an issue. So there is an issue actually. It is not allowed to close, and you have to close the whole web page. Okay, so that is okay. It's good. Okay, so this is also a bug, right? So it's not allowing to reset, right? Yeah, so this is good. The reset must have to reset all the times. That's true. Okay, so that will be a bug. Okay, okay, sure. So let's see here. So this is the one thing, right? Whenever you are opening defect, okay, whenever you're opening defect, you have to confirm with your leads. Okay, just because you found some defect may not be always a defect. Okay, you have to remember that. So you have to confirm, send an email to your lead saying that, hey, you know what, this is what I found. Can I open a defect? Okay, that's how you have to coordinate. So that's coordination. Okay, that's called communication skills, right? You have to communicate it properly. Just because you found some defect and now I'm going to open this defect, no, it doesn't work that way. That would be wrong because at the end of the day, they will question you why you didn't confirm with the other people, right? That's a valid question, right? Why didn't you confirm with your lead? So this is the major thing you have to do. Opening defects is one thing, but you have to coordinate with your team, make sure that's a defect. Okay. So okay. Okay, this is good. Did not ask for CVV number. That's a very good point. Okay. That has to be there, right? So that's a good point. you have to know how it works. Some applications don't ask, some applications does. So you have to make sure how this is working, okay? So let's see. Okay, someone also, see someone came up with something, right? Let's see here. Okay, so someone came up with some issue, right? That I've seen some place that whenever you're trying to order, let's say you're ordering, right? And this option deliver status is to be shipped. Okay, this cannot be shipped status unless you see. Here's the thing: you cannot put this status to already shipped. Somebody said that it should be already shipped. No, because they only will be shipping once you put the credit card information. Before that, they will not be shipping. And shipping doesn't take place in the same day unless you're ordering with high priority or such kind of things. The shipping doesn't take on the same day. Okay, it will be either taking the next day or it's based on whatever the companies.
It should be have to be shipped, right?
So yeah, that would be okay. Have to be shipped. To be shipped. Okay, that's just a terminology. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's a terminology. However, want to be, that's okay. Unless you understand some deeper meaning on that, that's fine. You have to check with business analyst saying that this is have to be okay. Other than that, and most important thing is your credit card does not get charged unless it is shipped. It has to, first they ship it, then they charge your card. Okay, so that's how it works. So first you place an order, normally they doesn't doesn't get deducted. Okay, once they ship it, only then your credit card will get charged. Yeah, if you have any questions, specific questions, you can ask questions. Okay, but make sure don't make it lengthy, because in previous classes every for I think for every 15 minutes or every 10 minutes the guy was asking question. So in that case I would recommend to have a session. We'll take it some other time and take it offline, because we have limited time. So we don't want to because so many other people are also listening, right? So they will get distracted. So what is the question and what we are teaching about? So all these things, right? So that's the reason. If you want to keep it simple, ask one or two questions. That's fine. If you have more questions, make it sure that send me an email so we can schedule it and we can work on that. But one or two questions or something you didn't understood or something like that, that should be okay. Okay, so that is one thing. So I wanted to make sure that shipping, that's fine. That's a terminology. Have to be shipped, to be shipped. Okay, that's the naming terminology. However, you want to have some deeper understanding on this, you can check with your business analyst. This all should be done by the business analyst, so you can work with business analyst and make sure how it should be. Okay. So that is one thing. And okay, so let's see here. Some few people. So I didn't see anyone people who opened some few defects. Here is the thing. So there is a defect right in front of the page. Okay, just you don't even have to click in this. You don't just look at this. Copyright 1997. Okay, and this is not 1997. This is 2018, right? So this is a defect. I would take it as a defect. Why? Okay, in financial maybe they might not care, but this will be a compliance issue if you're going into the healthcare. If you're working in a healthcare project, this will be a compliance issue. Okay, you cannot work with expired certificates, because they have to get the certificates installed in the system, and they change the options here. Okay, so they have to do a lot of work there. Okay, so they have to put they have to update their copyrights. Okay, you cannot use expired copyrights. Okay, so this should be This should be, as 2018, okay, or whichever year it is. You cannot use this, especially in healthcare projects. It would become a federal compliance issue, okay. And if this gets, unnoticed and gets in production, then they will catch right at that time, okay. So that is not a very good idea to miss this kind of issue. Okay, so that is one thing. And one more thing, let's see here. Yeah, few people took some defects here that Netscape is not there and Java is there. That's good. Um, so this is supposed to show how this Java and okay, so that's fine. So one more thing, right? So previously there was one defect that cursor was changing to hand cursor whenever I'm hovering this mouse here, but now this I think this people guys have changed it. Now it's no more. But let's see here. You know what? I'm just clicking that button. This is not even button. It's it's an image, and I'm just clicking it. And there's no reason to click that. There should not be any URL. URL beside that and saying that this is server error HTTP access page not found. This is really not. I mean, this is a minor issue. Of course, this is a pretty minor, and it's not taken. But still, it's an issue. As a tester, I would raise this issue. Maybe it's a low priority or the least priority. Let the developer take months to fix it. I don't care. They take years to fix it. Okay. Some of my defects, right, last for 6 months, 7 months. Okay. Because least priority, no one matters, but still it's a defect. I'm a tester. I want it right. Right. The code is broken. Yes, it's a broken. No matter how small it is. Right. So yeah, I would open this kind of defense. Okay, this is a low priority, very least. Might be there, but don't even care about it. But still, it's a defect. As a tester point of view, as a QA point of view, yeah, you don't want to miss this kind of things. Okay, it's because at the end of the day, it's your job. How it matters, how you're doing. Okay, so that's because that's what they hire you, right? They hire you for how you're doing your job. So I will take this is also a defect. Does everyone agree with me? So as a QA, because developer will not bother. Oh, that's an image. Then forget it. You will say, okay, that's an image. Nobody clicks that image. Yeah, that's right. Nobody clicks an image, but it's still happening. That means it's going to the next URL. It's not supposed to happen, right? So it's not good. Does everyone agree? So this is also a defect. Oops. This one, you're just clicking it and it's going to this page. Okay. So again, I keep telling this, you have to be proactive when asking a question. Okay, doesn't matter here. Okay, I don't care you're proactive or not. The only thing matters is at your work. If you're not able to answer any question from your boss, so see this, the way the workplace will be very different. Okay, so you will not even have an option to talk about it, right? But you have to be very, very crisp in answering questions. If you're not able to answer the question, then they will figure it out. Okay, so at least you have to have some basic, answer like yes, no, I don't know, I'm not sure, some kind of things. Otherwise, it would be, hard for you, not for me. Okay, so I hope you guys keep in mind that. Okay, so let's let's talk about this Rally. So Rally is a test management tool. Okay, there's a lot of tools. Again, we discuss about this. We have the HPLM, we have this Jira, we have this lot of things. Here, we are going to use this Rally. Okay, it's from CA Technologies. It's a different company. HPLM is from Hewlett Packard. It's and ClearQuest or ClearCase is from IBM, and Jira is from Atlassian. So there are so many companies, so many tools out there. Okay, it's not necessary that you have to stick to one tool. Okay, now if there might be some project, and they'll say, okay, so we are using Zephyr here. So do you know about Zephyr? So now you cannot say that, no, Manu only told me Rally, I don't know this, I don't know that. Now you are actually, you know, you're actually lessening your options there. Okay, if you don't want to lessen your option, you have to keep your options open. Whenever they say you have to correlate with some other tool, or saying that, yeah, why not? You have to always answer why not. I have used this Rally, I'm pretty good at this, and as a matter of fact, the process remains same, and it's just a user interface, and it's not a big deal. I would learn in less than a week. So I don't think that should be an issue because I know all things what is used in the Rally. So that's how you need to answer. Okay. Okay. So that's right. We started at 8, so doesn't matter. You can, if don't worry about it. I have all the recordings. Send me an email if you didn't get an email. Send me an email at manu@itmamerica.com. And if you have missed 2 classes, that's okay. I'll send you the recordings and homeworks. You can go ahead and look into it, and whenever you're free, you can complete it. Okay, so no big deal. So today, this is a complete different class from tomorrow. From yesterday. This is we are talking about test management tool. So it's no way related to yesterday's class, but obviously you need to have some understanding on opening a defect. So you have to look into previous classes. Okay, so I'll be giving you access for this tool. Okay, make sure don't misuse it. I keep telling this. Okay, don't delete any projects. It's not your job to delete anything in here. Okay, this will be taken very seriously at the work. Okay, just keep telling this. See what happened in the previous batches. I told them not to delete anything here, and they deleted. Now second time again I told them not to delete. Again they did. Third time I sent an email, do not delete. People who are trying to do the homework, are stuck and they don't know which user story, they did it again. So here's the thing, that doesn't matter. Okay, I don't care. I'll create a user story. But at work, if you are doing that, that will be taken as a big issue than your work. Okay, so make sure you don't do this. Okay, just I'm giving a heads up. Okay, I'm just giving a heads up. Don't delete anything. If you need delete, you have to, you send me an email saying that I'm stuck here, I'm not able to navigate. That's a different thing. But if you are deleting anything, that's not good. Okay, just make sure you keep in mind all these things, because it will be taken very seriously at work. Okay, deleting somebody else's work is really not a good idea. You can do it with your own things, okay, but at the end of the day, you are the one who has to report your boss. So if you are deleting your work and you don't have any work to report to your boss, then your boss will question you. So that's a different thing. But you cannot delete anyone's work. Okay, just keep in mind, because everyone are sharing the same user ID and password. So you don't want to delete anything, anyone's work. Okay, just keep in mind. Okay, so once you log in here, so there's a dashboard. This dashboard is useful. Let's say your boss, so sometimes your boss gives you work, let's say your boss gives you work, and they will not tell you. Okay, there's no way necessary they have to tell you. Okay, that's reasonable, right? They'll not tell you. Okay, so I don't know, check yourself. Okay, so that's the time when this will be useful. Say, okay, somebody assigned work to you and you have to look into it. Okay, oh, this is the work. Okay, I'll look into this. So that's how you have to, you can make use of this dashboard. So that's the dashboard. Okay, once you log in here, you have to figure it out which project you're working on. There are multiple projects. Okay, here you'll see only, here only 4, but real time you'll be having much more than that, and you may or may not have access to that. Okay, so that's the access problem. Now whatever you're trying to do, you have to make sure you're doing in the right project, because if you are losing which track of the project, you'll be losing all those things. Okay, so you have to make sure who is going to tell you? You have to check with the lead. Okay, you have to check with the lead saying that, hey, you know what, this is a project, or if you're working with business analyst, check with business analyst. Okay, hopefully your lead will be helpful, so you have to, make sure, you can check with your lead. Okay, so here another projects, we have, 4 projects, so let's go to here, and let's see here. Okay, so here is actually in the project. Now, once you go into here, go to the plan and go to user story. So what is exactly is this user story? Now, this is agile terminology. User story is actually the requirement. Okay, it's the requirement, and so here if you see this lot of more. So you see this lot of user stories. This is nothing. There is so much more than this user stories. In real time, you'll be having sub user stories, children user stories, and child of child user stories. So you want to make sure which user story are you working on. Okay, because one user story can consist of ETL work, it can consist of data analysis work, it can consist of QA work, it can consist of a lot of things. Okay, not just 1 or 2. So it is combined of a lot of things. Okay, so let's see here. I know this is my parent user story. Okay, now this is my child user story. Okay, so this is good. So I'm working on this one, right? Yeah, so user story 179. Okay, and you have to, and who is going to tell you this? Either do some research of your own, okay, which project you're assigned, which is, or check with the colleagues what's going on, what's the project, which is the user story, is it mine, or if you're good at comm skills, check with your lead. Okay, they will help you out. Okay, so that's how this is the only way to figure it out which user story you will be working on. Or of course, you have an option to check with the business analyst, but you have to make sure that sometimes it's communication all over the place is really not very good idea. In some companies, they are restricted. Yeah, you cannot communicate directly to a developer. For example, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has some, if you have some issue, some bug, you cannot directly coordinate with the development guys, right? They really, don't. There's a policy that they cannot directly, talk to developer. You have to check with your lead. Then the lead will send an email CCing everyone, and then that's how they work. So that's a typical, typical style. It's not every time, but yeah, in Agile it's completely changes. So okay, so this is the user story, and let's click here. And once I see, okay, so what's the, so again, I'm telling this, do not delete this user story, because a lot of people are deleting from previous batches, and it's okay, I don't care, but that shows how you will be working on your job. If you're working like that, then of course it will be a hard time for your boss to figure it out. So they will figure it out who deleted it. So here it's no big deal. They'll just see here, who did this. Your name will be stayed right here, and this, they'll call you right at that time. Your boss will call you in the desk and say, why did you delete this user story? So you have no answer for that. Okay, so do not delete anyone's user stories, especially people who will be doing homework. So, okay, don't do it. Okay, now let's see here. This is only, user story is only for you to understand what is written here. Okay, that's it. It's nothing to do with anything else. It is not your job to do delete or edit or something. There's nothing to do. Your job in this user story or requirement or any document or anything is to understand what's going on, right? What's going on here. So here, you see this, okay? This is very simple. I know I made it a little bit simple here, but don't expect such cakewalk, because there will be, see, this user story is, designed keeping a lot of people in mind. There will be a developer, there will be a tester, there will be a project manager, then you will be a boss. Your boss will also be looking at this user story, and there's an architect guy who is also viewing this user story to design the architecture of the system, and there's a lot more people, okay, a lot more people than you can see, right? That's the reason that description will be pretty much complicated. So you have to read the description multiple times to understand what's happening. Okay, what is your work there, what is exactly testing supposed to be done, and what you're trying to do. Okay, so you have to remember that this will be not so simple as it is here. It can be much more complex. Statements consist of 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, and obviously not sure what to do, because you need to understand the what is the gist of that paragraph, and you have to figure it out, right? Start writing test cases based on that. Okay, so here it's easy, pretty much nothing to do. So that means I'm saying verify all the functionalities, including everything, and do functional testing on this. Okay, so this is pretty much easy. So you're good. Let's go to the task. Let's go pretty quick here to task. Now, task is something which you can prepare yourself. So this is this kind of multiple ways of doing based on the policy of the company. Okay, either your boss can prepare for you if they like, or your lead will be creating for you and sending to you, or your boss says create yourself. Okay, why don't you create yourself? Why do you need someone to create user story? That's a very good question, right? Your boss will come to your desk and say, why didn't you create task? Okay, so in that case, you have to create tasks yourself. So let's see here. Oh, so here. So we'll put. So there's a lot of testing here. So what I'll do is like functional testing on GeoMo Online. So we'll just go on. We are not going to each and every detail like integration testing or system integration testing, incremental integration. Here we'll just stick to one thing. Functional testing on GeoMo Online. Of course, if it is an ETL, you have to put an ETL work, or if it is a any regression testing, then you have to go the regression testing. Okay. So here in this case, what I'm be doing is I'll be putting my name, because here we are having only one user ID, so we have to make sure who is created that. Okay. Otherwise, this is not really required, unless I personally I use it for if it's production issues or critical issues. I would be putting in star marks to get an attention of the developer, saying that this is a production issue. This should be fixed as soon as possible. Okay, so that's why I create this like and putting critical issue. Okay, but here just put your name for ease of convenience. Okay, state. So always make sure move the state. This becomes very important. So make sure to change your state always. Status is ready. Estimation. Let's say it takes 10 hours. We're talking in hours, so we just use it hours. Description. So we'll use the functional testing for GeoMo. Okay, and we'll use this. I mean, this is my choices. Don't have to change anything, but yeah. Okay, and once you do this, okay, that's it. And just click on create. So that's okay. Click on done. That's it. So now you have successfully created for functional testing. Let's say we are doing here functional testing. So I'm creating a task called functional testing on GeoMo Online, and who is responsible for it? I am responsible here. The owner name will be showing up, and the task ID is TA274. TA means task, okay? And the ID is 274, and this gets incremented based on how many tasks you have. Okay. So this is how you can create this task. Does anyone have any questions? And the difference between the task and test case in this particular tool is the time. Here you have the estimation time, test cases doesn't have that. That's the only difference. Or if you want write your test cases in task, not a very good idea. In this tool, it's certainly not required. Only you have to write what you're trying to do and how much time will it take to complete. That's the task is all about. Nothing to do what you're testing, what you're trying to do. No, not required. Does it make sense? Any questions?
Can we assign the test case to the particular user? For example, if there is a 10% the team, we can assess for a single person to look on it, or
Right.
for a group.
Yeah, you can do that, but then the very question will be, why do you want to do that? unless your boss says, yeah, your boss says, yeah, assign it to somebody, that's fine. Otherwise, if you're writing test case, you will be the sole owner and you will be executing it. Yes, you can change the owner from here. Yes. You can change the particular owner name, whoever is responsible. Here only one owner. Yeah, you have one more. So here you can change it here. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, but you are not going to do this unless it's really specified, by your lead. Mostly it will be lead. Okay. By lead, or unless you are a lead and you know what you're trying to do. Okay, if you're lead, you know what to do. So otherwise, we cannot assign this. Okay, any more questions? Okay, so I only seen 2 guys talking. Rest, there are like 13 people here. Rest of them, no questions. Yeah, so that's how you have to be, right? You have to be proactive. Is just ping it. If you don't want to talk, that's fine. Understand. This is not really very convenient way of doing, but if you don't like, you can put no, yes, or no, something like that. So that should be good. Okay. Now let's go to the test cases. Now this is where our work starts, right? Now, you have to write. So in this specific tool, you have to write a test cases here. Okay. So this is easy. I like really Rally. It's my personal choice. Not that Rally is the only thing in this world. There are so many tools, as I told you. Why do I like Rally? Because user friendly. It's user friendly. What's so cool about it? So let's see here. Okay. Now I want to create test cases here, right? If you want to create, if you see this action located in the right upper corner, you don't have to click that button. The moment you hover your mouse, you just get this and just click on new test case. Okay, great. Now when I click this, here it says testing GMO website. Okay. Okay. And here, if you have tags, some people have created some tags, you can use that tag too. Next is GMO function testing, that's good. Okay, and you can use tags. It's tags are not really required, but you can still use it. Description. So what I'm trying to do to test. Okay. So what we are trying to do here is to test the functionality and features of a GMO online project. Okay. So now attachments. I mean, I have not used this, and unless you know what to attach here, but really not required. But yeah, if there is any attachments like scripts or something, if you're running regression and you want to put some scripts and all those things, that's the only way I can think of putting attachment. Otherwise, here at this point of time, attachment is really not required. But of course, it's an option to use it if you want to use some, for regression testing or something like that. Okay, so here, owner, who is the owner? And as you said, as somebody said, you can assign this owner here too. Okay, you can assign this owner who is responsible in this test case. You can do for the test case too. Okay, and the project, of course, the project is here, so I don't want to change any project. Project is good. Expedite, unless you find this test case is really, should go fast and should be completed, then you want to click this, otherwise not required. Now, objective. What's the objective? So here, we just put this for now. To test all the functionalities and features of the GMO. Okay, so for time being, we'll just put this here. Okay. What product? That means which user story does this belong to? That's a very very important thing. And if you don't think this is the user story you're working on, go ahead and click on this magnifying glass. And if you know the user story, which user story, put it and just link it. Okay. Otherwise, this is good. Okay. So this is good because we are opening this from the same user story. So that should not be a problem. Next, what type? So here, there's, as we discussed, a lot of testings here. Remember first class? Yeah, few people did attend the first class. Then you have to go to videos. Here, there's a lot of testing is involved. So, what kind of testing are you trying to perform? The usability, regression, performance, functional. So here we'll just put as functional. And what is method? Manual, automated. Manual. We go to manual. Priority. So we'll just for this we'll just use it important. Risk, medium. Okay. So most probably this will be important and medium. Okay, unless useful, then you can also put the useful, and risk you can also put high. But if it is low, then you're not really wasting too much time for writing test cases. So most probably that will not be a scenario, but it can be based on the project. Okay, so here preconditions. So what are the preconditions you have to follow when you're writing test case? So here the precondition is, okay, so code should be deployed in test environment. Okay, so without that we cannot test, right? We are not going to test in dev environment. Yeah, there are exceptions. There are always exceptions, but in this particular scenario, we are not going to do this. So, and this, the second is smoke testing. Let's say we are really interested in smoke testing. So smoke testing should be completed. Okay. So anything else you could think of? Anyone?
Sanity testing.
Okay, you can add that too. Sanity testing. Let's say, okay, that's not always required, but okay, let's say that project requires that one. So okay, it's not always required. It's based on the project, but for ease of convenience, we'll just use it. Okay, sanity testing should be completed. Anything else? Okay. So here, okay, let's go to here. Okay, now there is also called as post condition. That means the preconditions is before executing your test cases. Okay, we are just writing here, so but before executing test cases, this should be taken into consideration. But post condition is what has to be done after you complete your execution. So now we'll talk about the code should be deployed in production. Sorry, not production. Before that, we'll just regression testing should be completed. Okay. And after you complete regression testing only, let's say we require even performance testing. Let's say we are using after regression, we are trying to do performance. You can do before that. It depends. And after that, the code should be deployed to production. Okay. Now you cannot deploy the code before doing this testing. So that's the numbering system, right? First thing first. First do regression, then do performance, then merge the code. Okay, that's how it should follow. Okay. Anything else? Anything else you can think of?
End-to-end testing.
End-to-end testing. End-to-end testing should have been completed. Okay, that's a very good question. So end-to-end testing, if you want, you see, here's the thing. So when you complete all those testing, you say the end-to-end testing is done. So technically, if you are doing this regression and performance, that means end-to-end testing is done. Okay. That is, end-to-end testing is not like a separate testing. It's constitutes of various testing. Once you complete all this testing, like functional testing, integration testing, incremental testing, so performance testing, regression testing, then you say that the end-to-end testing is completed. So it's not like separate testing that has to be done. Okay, so that's how it is. That's good. That also can be an option. That's good. You know, somebody came up with that. That's good. That can also be an option. Okay, sometimes it might require the project. Okay, let's add that too. So it's completely based on project, but you know, we'll just trying to be more detailed. Okay, just we have to be more detailed when doing this. Okay. Okay, so here now let's start writing our test cases. So we have completed with this. Now there's option two. You see these two fields here. I hope everyone can see these two fields, right? Let's see. This is one field that is validation, and there is another field called validation expected result. That means what input you are giving and what is the expected result. Okay, so okay, good. So let's see here. What's the input? So let's say our application is ready. We have a ready-made application, so that's good. But not always the scenario. So okay. What we put is enter the URL. So let's say we are working only on Chrome browser for now. We have to write separate test cases for Firefox, for IE, Internet Explorer, it's Microsoft Edge, Safari, and all those things. So, but since we are talking only about Chrome, so we're just worrying about the Chrome. Okay, enter the URL Chrome browser and then hit enter, because there's no option here, right? It just there's no option to go to here. The only option is to hit enter. Remove that buttons, all those things. Okay. So what is the expected? The home page of GMO online is displayed. Okay. Now, what happens when you enter this URL? That means you are trying to say the expected result is the home page is displayed. That's good. Okay. So let's see here. Let's click on. Now I want to add now more steps. This one is not enough, right? You have to write at least. See, it's not like there is a minimum or maximum. Maximum, I would think of is 20, but I don't, technically I don't want to go beyond 20 test cases. Why? Because if I'm spending a lot of time just writing my test cases, then I will not be efficient for executing my test cases, right? So that's the reason, you have to keep those in limits. Okay, so to add more steps, you see the steps option, and you have this add action step. Click on that. This is the drop down box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 means it gets pair of field. 2 means 2 pair of fields. So let's go to here 1. So now the moment I add it, this page gets refreshed, and here we go. What's the input and what's the expected result? So input is output is this. Since we already use this home page display, so let's talk about this button. Click on enter GMO online button. Okay. So what happens when you click it? So we already know it goes to the next page, this online catalog page. Let's name it as online catalog because the URL also shows the online catalog. So page is navigator to online catalog page. Okay, so this is my second test case. Okay, so this is just an it was just an introduction kind of thing, and this is kind of. But here it's taking as first test case. Okay, we can take it as first test case. Okay, so what we are trying to do, we are clicking on enter GMO online button. What is page is navigated? So this is what I expected result, right? Now, we want to write more test case. So click on add action step, click on that, click on 1. It's up to you. If you want 4, you can 5, it's up to you, but I go one by one. So let's see what happens, after one after the other. So this second test case, of course, this is my second test case. Now, what is this? Okay, let's put in place an order. The order quantity is 10. So enter the order quantity 4. %, don't tent. Okay, and click on place an order button. Okay, so we are working on this button. Okay. So this is my second test case. So what I'm trying to do is I'm putting just 10 and clicking on this one. Okay, good. So what's happening? Place an order. The page is navigated to place an order web page. See here, page is navigated to place order web page. Okay. Okay. So this is my second test case. Now I want to write a third test case. Let's click here. Again, you have to go through this. Click on add action steps and click on 1. Now what happens here is, this is my third test case, not the second, right? If you see here, this has been moved to third. I don't want that because this is my second. I cannot make this third because, this is really not appropriate because I'm following proper steps, right? Step 1, step 2, so it's dependent on each steps, right? So now this has screwed my, procedure which I'm trying to do. So what you can do is here you have this option which is located in every field. If you see this, there's an option, corner option. See this here? You can move this by action menu and move step down. Okay, now this is good. Now it's now it's good. Now this is my second, and this will be a third test case. Okay, so that's how you can do it, especially in specifically in Rally. Okay, so here I'm trying to click on proceed with order button. Okay, so what's expected? A page is navigated to billing information page. Okay. Okay, so page is navigated to billing information page. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so let's say I want to add one more step. Now I'm not going to use this because I know this will get upside down. My test cases all will be I cannot use this one anymore. I know what the issue about it. So what I'll do is I'll create right from here. If you see this add action step, I hope everyone can see it. Okay, so I'll be using this option, these two options. You see this? Not two, actually, the only thing I'll be using this one. Okay. So let's use this and click on 1. Now this is my first step. Okay, that's good. So I put is fill all the information. And click on place the order button. Okay, so what happens? Let's see here. So we'll just put the same address. So here if you notice, we're not going in detail. As a tester, you have to validate every fields here. Okay, this field, this field, this field. The static text and the dynamic text. All this you have to validate. If you notice, you are not documenting that in test case, but we'll go to that. So we'll just talk about this later. Okay, so what is the expected? Let's click on this. Place an order. Online store receipt. Okay, so okay. So let's say I want to write one more. Click on this add action step and click on one. Also, now click on return to home page button. And what happens? Page is navigated to home page. Home page of okay. See here. Okay, good. So it's going to the home page. Okay, so these are the steps you have to follow. So again, while writing these test cases, you have to make sure you are doing the positive scenarios, negative scenarios, and boundary values. So here in this case, I just went the positive one flow just for an ease of explanation, but you have to be much more detailed in that. Okay. Okay. So any questions so far? Any questions in writing these test cases? So we'll go a little bit more details how we have to do. Okay. Okay. Good. So now let's click on save and close. Okay. So now we have successfully created a test case. But now we'll get back to this. And as I told you that we have to test each and every module or each and everything in the page, right? So, but really we didn't document that. The reason we didn't document because we don't have that much time to go to each. Let's say we are going to 3% or to go for special characters. We have to go for numbers. We have to go to alphabets. We have to go to boundary values. That's too much thing, right? We are not documenting that, and it's really not required. We are just doing it high level. This kind of high level document. We are not going in detail. Okay. So what you can do? So here, what you can do is there's an option. It's not really option, but okay, let's see here. Here, what you can do is if you want all those. Let's say you want to So here I can add some information like tested for positive scenario. Okay, tested for negative scenario. And then this, so tested for boundary values. Okay. Also, check field values, static text. If there is any dynamic text, no, so text is dynamic text. Okay. check images, URLs, drop down box if there is any. Edit box, etc. Okay, and once you do this, so once you do this, click on save and close. So that's how you can do it. If you're not, this is what you have to put some information that you're also doing that. This shows, because this may not be, even if your boss doesn't check. Let's say your boss doesn't check. Say your boss is very lenient, but that's not really that's not the point, because if your boss misses your work, then it comes under audit review. When they perform this audit review. Yeah, somebody asked a question, right? So we have to write every step that we have. No, you don't have to write for every step, because a test case is normally high-level document. You cannot go in detail, but while performing, of course, you have to go very detailed. Okay, so you don't have to write in detail, but we are just giving a hint that we performed all this. No need to worry. Okay, because when an audit review shows up, right, the guy will come. He has no technical experience, but he will really he will look into your test cases thoroughly. He says, okay, so if he doesn't understand, so where did you do this negative scenarios? Where did you do this boundary values? They will ask you question. Okay, and that will be in front of your boss, in front of if there's a director too, they will be in front of. So you have to answer that in front of all your peers. So you have to make sure you're doing it right. Okay, so this is normally you can do it. Now, okay, we have less time. Any questions so far? The similar way you have to do for Chrome, for Firefox, for Microsoft Edge, Safari, so on. Whatever the company has, you can work on that. Okay, so far we have only completed writing our test cases. We have done nothing. We have not, we have just completed writing our test cases. But the main part is executing your test cases. This holds a little value if you are not, executing your test cases. You have to execute it. Otherwise, what's the point of writing test cases, right? Now, if you want to execute it, so this is option. Okay, let me be a little more detailed here. So if you see this, so this is the test case ID. Okay, this is the ID, and this is the name, and this is what product. What product is the user story? And if you see this functional, what's the importance? Owner of this. Okay, this is the owner, and what the method is manual. Verdict means is it pass, fail, and build run. We'll talk about this. This is a project. And so you see this 3 small icons located here. I hope everyone can see this. Okay, the first icon is which tick and check mark is actually executing your test cases. That's how it is important. And then you see this pencil and paper icon. That is, if you want to edit your test cases, that's what you use. And this, the last icon, which used to copy your test. Let's say you found some similar test cases, you want to copy it. You can use that. Okay. Okay, good. So let's click on this. Execute. I want to execute my test case. So build. Let's say build is. Let's put some build number 2018. No, this is the build number. Now, build number depends on who is going to tell you the build number. Is your lead. Okay, if you're communicating directly to your boss, that's okay. Your boss will tell, but it's no way responsible for you to tell. So you have to check with your lead. Okay. Lead and the verdict. What's the verdict? Verdict means is it pass, is it fail, or what happened to it? So we'll just put it pass. Let's say you pass. And let's write some short information here. Successfully executed functional test cases. Let's see, we are writing about functional test cases of GMO Online. Okay, and And you don't have to do this. This is okay. Okay, so yeah, duration. Of course, you have to put the duration. Let's say we took some. No, duration can just how much time did you take to execute? Let's say put some number. 1 hour. It doesn't take 1 hour, but yeah, whatever the duration it took for you to execute this test case. Okay. Okay. Now we just close saving exit, saving close. Now, if you see here, when you do this, this plus icon shows up here. You expand that, now it shows the successfully executed GUI. Okay, so here's the thing what I missed here. Okay, so I missed a very important thing, which you're supposed to know it. Okay, so let's see here, what did I miss? So click on edit option. Now, put it edit. Now, what did I miss? This is an attachment option here. See this attachment option? Now that's a very important option here. Okay. Now here's the thing. Your boss, now you'll say that I've executed my test cases. Okay. Your boss said, okay, great. How would I know that you have executed your test cases? That's a very good question, right? You have to answer that. Now your boss asks you, okay, you have executed test cases. That's fine. How would I know that you have executed test cases? That means you do not have a proof to show your boss that you have executed test cases. Now that will be a really critical point, when doing this, because if there's a production issue and it just comes at you, that bug comes at you and saying that, hey, it's a production issue, and your boss says, hey, you know what, you've tested that application, right? So what's up with that? It's a production issue. So did you test that application? So yeah, you say yeah. So where are your, how would I know that you have, tested that application? Where is the proof? So here, what do you want to do? So every time, whenever you are actually, doing this, you have to take screenshots. Without screenshots, your work is invalid. Okay, that's, okay. Some places they might not consider, but this is a good habit, at least to start with. Okay, you don't want to do that, that's a different story, but it's a good habit to take a screenshot. Let's say here how what I do is here. Okay, now I use MS Word. Let's say I use this MS Word and I document all my screenshots. Let's say here, this is the page, this is my first test case, right? Put a print scheme option, put it here. The reason I'm using this because I don't want all the options here. Okay, the only thing what is required for testing, that is not required. Okay. Okay, this is my step 1. Okay, now I'll click this button. Put in here. That's what we did, right? Then take a screenshot. Here. Now, if you see this, right, this screenshot shows a lot of options here, and it also shows that you didn't open this bug for 1997. See this? This is already showing up, so they'll just right away catch you. Where is the bug for this, right? So you have to be very careful. Okay, put in place in order. Take another screenshot. I'll go to this. Okay, and proceed with order. Fill up all this information. Take a screenshot. So these are one step after. So every step, almost every step has a screenshot. Okay, so okay, and then click on place an order. Take a screenshot. put it here. Okay. So this almost all the test cases we have the screenshot documented here. That's good. Now save it. Where you want to save? Say desktop. Do it as Geomo Beacon. Close this. Now what you're going to do is whatever screenshot you have documented in MS Word, you have to upload it here. This attachment section. Remember, go to here and is it? Okay. Now once it gets uploaded, I want to put some descriptions in this GeoMove result and click on save and close. Okay. Great. Now let's see here. Let's go back to our user study and see what's happening. Thank you. So here I see this test run has been updated. Okay, this put test cases. And now you're good. Now you're good. Why? Because now your boss says, okay, did you test this application? Yes, I did. Now the next question the boss will ask me, how would I know that you have tested this application? Okay, you have tested, that's fine, but how would I know? Hey, you know what? I have documented this, and you know you can find these documents. You can go to the screenshots, right? Now you have a better option to tell your boss saying that, you know, why don't you look at my screenshots? At that point of time when we were testing, we didn't find any issues of such kind, but I'm not exactly sure what happened later because some developer changes we were doing actually, you know, because regression testing was going on and some developer changes, they were doing some dev changes. But I'm not exactly sure what happened after that. But when I tested, when I was executing my test cases, you know, there was no defect and there was no issues of such kind. Now you are in a better position to save yourselves. Okay, why? Because you know this document is there. Why don't you look at the document? Does it make sense? So this is very important. Although I'm keeping this as an optional, but this is documentation is very important. If you are not documenting your result, it's up to you. You know, it's nobody says that to document, right? But if you're not doing it, it comes back to you at one point of time. Where is the result? Okay, that is a very basic question your boss will ask you. You know, how would I know that you have completed it? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so this is very important. Although you know it might be different from company to company. Company might have some different policies, different rules. But documentation is the most important thing if you're doing it right. Okay, if you're doing it and you want to show your boss, if your boss will, you know, they will try to get you at any angle saying that, yeah, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not coordinating with the team, you're not coordinating with the leads, all those kind of things. You have to make sure you're doing it all right. Okay, so although you cannot answer all those questions, but few of them, especially this kind of word testing, you know, you have to make sure you're doing it right. Okay, so that's about. So we'll talk about this. So we are already late. So we'll talk about these defects tomorrow. Yeah. So any questions so far?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, you know, some person. Okay. Yeah, some person actually asked me a question. Let's see. No, the difference between verification and validation. Okay, this here is good. Okay, so I'll respond to that. Okay. So, but we'll also be going to that. You know, that methodology. You know, when we talk about this methodology, we'll be coming across those terms, verification and validation. You know, it's kind of. It's the difference is actually, you know, building right product or building product right. You know, this is just a difference between validation and verification. Okay, So we'll go through that. Okay, there's a complete methodology for that. Incremental SDLC, and we'll see how we can do. Okay. Okay. If no questions, can we close this class for today? Yeah, just go through.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Good. So go through this video, and if you like, I'll be sending. And people who are not getting videos, email me at manu@itamerica.com. Okay.
Hey Manu, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Hey, listen. So what happened? I just got the email yesterday, telling that our class was supposed to start. Our class started from 8th of January, which I already missed 2 class,
Okay.
and I didn't want to interrupt at the middle of the class, so I didn't. I just typed the message earlier, and you did reply. Is there a way you could send me all those two captured lecture and with this one, so I could follow up? Can I just go? Can I go from here, or do I just need to stop? I don't know. What's your opinion?
Yes, so I would say you have to start from scratch. That is, you have to go through that video. Okay, so that's the reason. Send me an email so that I'll add you in the list. So in the future, you'll be getting my recordings. Okay, and also I'll be sending my recordings previously.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. What is your email again?
Actually, manu@itamerica.com. Just send me an email. Just don't ping here because if it is underscore or hyphen, it just always gets missed.
So, you think I could still follow up even if I missed past 2 classes?
Yeah, sure. It's not an issue. So these are independent classes. Okay. Only few things are dependent, but not everything. So, these are independent to each other. So nothing to do with each other.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
No problem. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can also reach out to me. Okay, so you can call me, or once you go through that video, if you have any questions, so how this is and how does this work, I'll explain it if you don't understand anything.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.